This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
I'm Dakota. This is my Malfegor deck. Let's get started on this. This is my Malfegor EDH. For those of you that do not know what Malfegor is, he is a 6-mana demon dragon. He has flying. 6/6, when he comes into play, you discard your entire hand, and each of your opponents sacrifices a creature for each card you discard this way. So, just to talk about the deck a little bit, I'm a big demon fan, so this is a tribal demon deck. As you can see, the commander is sort of a board wiping card. The rest of the deck likes to board wipe as well. So, you kill a lot of creatures off. It's not too mean because there's no infinite combos, but a lot of people go after you a lot. There's only a couple political cards in here, so you really don't get too much love in this deck, but I'm a big demon fan, so I decided to make a tribal demon deck. Alright. So, let's get to the land. We have 24 swamps. I'm going to try and just... Oops, fix the camera. Crap. Alright, 24 swamps. If I can get through them. Hopefully this deck does not fall. I think it's going to fall soon. Alright, so 24 swamps. A lot of swamps, because I can't afford lots of good stuff. This is also sort of a budget deck. There's also a couple cards missing from the deck, and I will get to those. 24 swamps. 6 mountain. Full arts. Now on to the non-basics. Every multicolored commander deck needs this card, Command Tower. Rakdos Carnarium. It's the black-red bounce land. Molten Slagheap. This can build up your black and red mana by adding counters to it. Dragonskull Summit. Urborg Volcano, which is like a Dragonskull Summit, but it has to come into play tapped. And Vivid Crag. So those are ones that make colored mana. Some special lands. Hellion Crucible from M13. This can make Hellion token. Temple of the False God. And Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse. There are 2 spells in the deck that can make mana. We have Dark Ritual, simple, and then a very good card in my opinion, Black Market. For those of you that do not know what it does, it's 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature dies, you put a charge counter on it, and during your pre-combat main phase, you add 1 black mana to your pool for each charge counter on Black Market. Right, so let's get into the demons of the deck. Since this is a tribal demon deck, we should probably have demons. The original deck design was to use this card as the commander, Rakdos the Defiler, but I decided that Malfegor was better. Rakdos the Defiler is the exact same price as Malfegor. He has flying and trample. Whenever he attacks, you sacrifice half the non-demon permanents you control rounded up. Whenever he does damage to a player, that player sacrifices half the non-demon permanents they control rounded up. So, he's an alternate commander. He was the original commander. He's not now. Because now, I have Malfegor. Another multicolored demon we have is Defiler of Souls, flying 5/5 for 6 mana as well. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player has to sacrifice a mono-colored creature. Demons sacrifice a lot. I have stuff in here for sacrificing, and you will see that soon. Onward to my next demon, which is actually my favorite demon card in the game. It's actually my favorite card in the game. Abyssal Persecutor. For 4 mana, it's a 6/6 with flying and trample. You can't win the game, and your opponents can't lose the game. So, it just makes everyone else unbeatable, and it puts a lot of edge into the game. Since we're on Mythic Demons, let's just get to Nixilis, the Fallen. A 3/3 for 5 mana. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, A target player loses 3 life, and Nixilis gets 3 +1/+1 counters. This is good when you're ramping. I've had people play cards that allows me to ramp, so it's good. Next we have Lord of the Pit. Big 7/7 trample. He's nice. I like him. Next we have Xathrid Demon. Ooh. Sorry. Next we have Xathrid Demon. Flying trample 7/7 for 6. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature other than Xathrid Demon, and each opponent loses life equal to that creature's power. If you don't, you tap Xathrid Demon and he deals 7 damage to you. You stack a big demon, burn everyone with it. He's really fun. And Reaper from the Abyss is our last mythic demon. Another mythic demon that I want, which for some reason did not get ordered when I thought I ordered it, was Demon of Deathscape. Let's go on. We have 2 different board-wiping demons that just kill everything on my opponent's field. Reiver Demon and Dreadkaka Demon. For those of you that do not know what they do, they basically just kill everything else. Next we have Extractor Demon, a demon that I don't really care much for, but he was put into the commander set, so he must be worth something, right? He basically just makes people mill when a creature leaves the battlefield, so every time something dies. Next we have Harvester of Soul. When a non-token creature dies, you draw a card. Pestilence Demon, I can pay 1, hit everything and everyone for 1 damage. Next we have Woebringer Demon. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a creature. If they can't, sacrifice Woebringer Demon. This next one is it's a standard card. It's not good in standard. So I put it to use in this. Treacherous Pit-Dweller is a 4/3 for 2 mana, and when it dies, it comes back with a +1/+1 counter, and an opponent takes control over it. This is a very good political card. I can hand over a big creature pretty early in game. And then Soulcage Fiend. When he dies, everyone loses 3 life. Next we'll get on to some other creatures. Avatar of Discord, a 5/3 for 3 mana. He also has flying, and when it comes into play, you sacrifice it unless you discard 2 cards. I played this today on turn 1 using Dark Ritual, so that was kind of fun. Still didn't win. Next we have Shieldred. This brings back all your fallen demons, and it kills more creatures, so it's always good. This next card I'm a big fan of. It's very political. Hunted Horror. It's a 7/7 for 2 mana. Also has trample, and when it enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 3/3 centaurs with protection from black. So you hand over a couple centaurs, and then swing at the other guys for 7. So that's fun. Next we have Endrick Sar, Master Breeder. Whenever you play a creature spell, you put X 1/1 black thralls onto the field, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. This makes a lot of thralls when you play a demon. And when you have 7 or more thralls, you sacrifice Endrick. Next we have Hell's Caretaker. Simple card, bring stuff back from the grave. We also have zombies in the deck. Because demons require lots of sacking, zombies are cheap, and so I just threw those in. You have Nixilis, the Unhallowed, good card, very good card. Use everything Undying, bring back all those demons. Gravecrawler, I can play him from my grave, keep sacking him to demons. Diregraf Ghoul, simple 1-drop. Drolf's Messenger, 3-drop, burn someone when he comes, and he also has Undying. Highborn Ghoul, simple 2/1 Intimidate. And Butcher Ghoul, an Undying Zombie. Next we'll get into the 2 Planeswalkers of the deck. Sorin Markov, which can be amazing when your opponents have 40 life, and you can just make one of them have 10. And Liliana Vess. I use her for her tutor abilities. And just search and search and search for demons. Speaking of tutors, one creature you did not see was Bloodspeaker. During your upkeep, you can sacrifice him and search your deck for a demon card, and whenever a demon enters the battlefield under your control, put him in your hand. That card was supposed to be in here for some reason. It got deleted from my cart when I was ordering all my cards, but that card will be in here. Next we'll go with the artifacts. This is where I get my land ramp, and there's really not that much of that either. Journeyer's Kite, Armillary Sphere, Soul Ring, Rakdos Signet. Then we also have Lightning Greaves, and then Scroll of Grizzlebrand, which can burn someone if I have Demon. Another burn card is Shrine of Burning Rage. And then a Tribal Demon deck for a multiplayer game must always have this artifact, Elbrus the Binding Blade. For those of you that do not know, Elbrus the Binding Blade gives the equipped creature +1/+0. When it does damage, you unequip the blade and you transform it into the 13/13 Flying Trample Intimidate Woebringer. Whenever a player loses the game, Woebringer gets +13/+13. Onward to the board wiping cards that I mentioned. One thing I do not have in here is Damnation, because that card is too expensive. Grave Pact, whenever a creature I control dies, every player sacks a creature. Blasphemous Act, hit everything for 13. Chain Reaction, every creature, it hits everything for X, where X is the number of creatures on the field. Killing Wave, and Black Sun Zenith. Now we have tutoring cards. There's only two. I want Demonic Tutor on this deck, but that is also an expensive card. Diabolic Tutor, and if you really want to get Diabolic, you can play Diabolic Revelation. I have tutored for at least 12 cards with this before and still managed to play those cards. We have a couple more creatures that we can sack by playing Army of the Damned and Skittering Invasion, which can also make me mana. And then we just have some stuff to pump up our demons that are in the air so we can swing and swing and swing more and deal more damage. Vow of Malice, Vow of Flight, Sadistic Glee. For those of you that do not know what this does, when a creature dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on the enchanted creature. Riot Spikes gives the creature +2/-1. And then we just have some other spells. We have Pain Magnification, Reign of Gore, Sorin's Vengeance, Tribute to Hunger, Brain Pry, Sign in Blood, and Night Creep. So that is my Malfegor Tribal EDH. Couple things that go in the deck that I do not have. Like I said before, I need Damnation, Blood Speaker. Sadly, Grizzlebrand is not legal in this deck because Grizzlebrand is banned from EDH. The point of the deck is you basically just board wipe and board wipe until you have lots of demons on the field, and then you just annihilate with demons. So, very good deck, and I highly enjoy it. Thank you for watching CMDR Decks. Please favorite and subscribe.